This is the second Ring of Honor show in the new era with Jim Cornette, and I've been putting off making this video for a while because I've been a bit ill. I still got a bit of a cold, but I can't put it off forever, so here it is. So I'm ready to run the show. Everything's in place, everything's sorted, so let's go for it. I'm hoping this is going to be a good show. So here we go, Ring of Honor Wrestling in front of 3,500 people at the Hammerstein Ballroom. So this is an opening angle, and Mamma Mia, Mauro Ranallo is back. We see Ranallo sitting next to Cornette, who welcomes him back to ROH. And the pair put over the fact we'll be seeing Kushida defending his TV title against Jonathan Gresham. Plus we'll see the Motor City Machine Guns take on War Machine and Mr. Anderson against a hand-picked opponent, Nick Jackson. They put over there is plenty more to come too. So stay tuned to Ring of Honor Wrestling. Ring of Honor Wrestling. I always do that. Alright, next, so that's a 41. Yeah, that's probably alright. That's kind of an overness rated segment. But I just wanted to get Mauro Ranallo back in there. So yeah, it's still a two-man booth, but instead of Kevin Kelly and Jim Cornette, it's the second show, and I've got a new announce team. Mauro Ranallo is returning from WWE. Because he got bullied by JBL. So he's back here to get bullied by Jim Cornette. So let's have a look at the next segment. This is the first real proper segment of the show. Okay, so we open the show with Jay and Mark Briscoe standing in the ring as the crowd cheer them on. And Mark says, "Hello, New York." It's a big cheers. He says, "I'm just as peppy as a hog in shit. It's them boys. Live tonight at home of the Extreme. What's up, Hammerstein Ballroom?" And the crowd go friggin' nuts because it's the Hammerstein Ballroom. Jay says, "My boy here, he speak the truth, and it's one hell of an honour to be in front of you fans right here. But I'm hotter than the $2 pistol. You all saw how we done got screwed last week by those dirty bastards, the Addiction. You all saw what the so-called world champ had to do to beat them boys. Well, I ain't going out like that." Yeah, Cypress Hill reference there. "So Daniels, get out here, be a man, and give me a shot at that strap of yours." When the Addiction's music hits and they walk out to a chorus of boos. As Daniel says, Now, Jay, you really ought to calm down. Maybe do a few breathing exercises. Try to increase your mindfulness. Myself and Francois are clearly on another plane of existence to you hog-bothering rubes." And that got a 58, which is pretty good. And yeah, out of the four, there always seems to be one who just doesn't do well with the improvising. It's a bit annoying. Kaz was a bit underwhelming in that one, but it's advanced the world title storyline. I don't have to run storylines in Ring of Honor. I've just decided to do it anyway because it helps me to remember where things are going and what I'm doing. Cool, so not bad. Let's go to the next one. I still haven't sorted out the ratings so that you can see whether it's a C+ or whatever. But I will do that. I will get another skin. Right, next segment. Okay, so it's a continuation basically. And Daniel says, "And Jay Briscoe, if you think you can walk into a title match after I pinned your ass last week, you've got to be kidding. If you want me, you're going to have to take the Appletini acid test." Jay says, "I'll take any test you want, boy." So Daniel says, okay, watch your blood pressure there, my friend. If you can beat my good friend Francois one-on-one tonight, you can have your shot. Jay says, "It's on. Jim Cornette, get your ass in this ring and make it official." So Jim Cornette leaves the announce table and grabs a live mic, which is what he's going to have to do quite a lot, I think, because he is the authority figure. He's also the colour commentator. So it's a bit of a weird setup. So Cornette says, "You want it, Jay? You got it. I'll sanction a title match, and it'll be at best in the world, no less. But lose to Kaz tonight, and I'm afraid I'll have to give the shot to Jay Lethal instead." So there you go. That's going to be the main event of Best in the World. It's either going to be Jay Briscoe and Daniels or Jay Lethal and Daniels. Unless, of course, anything happens next week. Now, the problem is I've only got a 3-week build. I thought I had a 4-week build, but I've got a 3-week build, so I'm kind of having to rush the storylines to get to Best in the World at the moment. But, you know, after that, I'll have a proper 4-week build to each pay-per-view, so I'll be able to build the stories a little better. It's going to be a bit of a rush job to get the card filled up this time. Right, 48, not amazing. Next segment. So it's the opening match. In a poor match, Kushida defeated Jonathan Gresham in 11 minutes 17 by pinfall with a Midnight Express. Kushida makes defense number 1 of his ROH World Television title. Is it his first defense? Oh, alright, well, fair enough. Jonathan Gresham was getting knackered. Only 12 minutes. And look at that, the announcing quality is pushing that match on. Good announce booth. When they've got a bit of experience, that's really going to help. Not particularly great performances from either man there. A bit disappointing. But a 40, that's probably average for us at the moment. 60s is brilliant, I think, probably for where we are in terms of popularity and in terms of where our wrestlers are in terms of popularity as well. Right, so let's move on. Silas Young is standing in the ring with a mic in hand, supported by the Beer City Bruiser. As Silas says, Silas says, so we have a new title, do we? The World's Women title. Well, ain't that cute? I just need to say that I have a little problem with that. You see, this ring is a man's ring. A real man's place is fighting in this ring. A woman's place is at home in the kitchen, and everyone boos. A real man knows this, and that's where my wife is right now, because that is her place. More people booing. These damn women are out of control. They need a firm hand to teach them some respect. And the crowd are howling their disapproval at that, because it's a bit naughty and sexist, isn't it? War Machine's music hits, and they come out to confront Silas and the Beer City Bruiser in the middle of the ring. Hanson says, Silas, you call yourself a real man, but you talk a lot of crap. No real man talks about women in that way. A real man respects the women in his life. He doesn't come out on national TV and run them into the dirt. Silas Young did well in that segment, and it got 46. Let's have a look. This will be part 2 of the segment. So Raymond Rowe says, the War Machine prefer to let our fists do the talking, so we're putting you on notice. We have a match tonight, but once we're through with the Motor City Machine Guns, we're going to show you both what a real man is. Hanson says, and you will come to learn that war is hell. War Machine go nose to nose with Silas and the Beer City Bruiser. There's a tense standoff as the crowd are baying for blood. Silas lambasts War Machine whilst retreating up the entrance ramp, saying, I don't have time for this shit. You'd better watch your backs. You can't just come out and interrupt me. You're going to wish you hadn't crossed me, you meatheads. The last real man always laughs last. What a dick. And that gets a 46, and Silas Young struggled when going off script. I wish it wasn't so inconsistent. Maybe they'll get better at doing it. I'm not really up for scripting any promos. There's one later in the show that I scripted, but it doesn't have any talking. So that's kind of, I'll only script it if it's just about what they're doing and how they're acting or something. You know, if someone's getting out of a limo, you kind of script that, don't you? Get out of the limo. And in that kind of way, I guess it's scripted. Right, next Sego. So in about that decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, the Motor City Machine Guns defeated War Machine in 13:04 when Chris Sabin defeated Raymond Rowe by pinfall with an all-hail Sabin following interference from Silas Young. So yeah, Silas Young and Beer City Bruiser also running an attack Hanson. So yeah, Silas and the Bruiser have kind of interfered in that match and caused the loss for War Machine. In terms of in-ring work, Alex Shelley was head and shoulders above everyone else, and Raymond Rowe was the weak link. So, not an amazing performance from any of them, and a 49, which is alright, and it advanced the Who's the Man storyline. Any improvements to these bad boys? Chris Sabin improving in Rumble skills. Nice. Next, Sego. Stokely Hathaway is standing backstage waiting to address the ROH faithful. So Hathaway says, "We stand here today on the verge of a new era in ROH, and I see it as a chance for those who are able to step up and smash that glass ceiling. We can make this company a huge force in wrestling, where people are judged only on their talent in the ring and not on some nebulous idea of marketability," and he does that thing with his fingers. "A place of true competition where we can say and do what we want, and not what someone has written for us. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you my newest enterprise, the Grassroots, a new kind of group, a group that stands together for the many, not the few. Here tonight are my first two members of the Grassroots. Come on out, guys." Will Ferrara and Cheeseburger come through the curtain behind Hathaway. The Hathaway says, "These fine human beings are ready to take the next step, so look out, the Grassroots are coming up." Nice. Stokely Hathaway is not suited to his gimmick. Fantastic. And he did well improvising, but that got a 25 rating, which is because none of them guys are particularly popular, so it doesn't matter how well they perform in a segment, it's still going to be pretty low. Alright, next bit. Someone's got to give... I'm guessing that's going to be Stokely Hathaway then. Hang on, let's see what happened. It's Will Ferrara. And he is changing from an underdog to a young lion, because I don't really know why. I'm guessing that there's something wrong with it. Right, let's complete it. Above average, that's good. That's good, he's got a good gimmick now. That'll help him. Right, next segment. In a terrible match, Kelly Klein defeated Scarlett Bordeaux in 7:06 by submission. BJ Whitmer did well. The crowd hadn't peaked, so being cooled wasn't productive. I just can't get this crowd thing right. Kelly Klein had an in-ring performance of 24. Scarlett Bordeaux got 16. That's terrible. Oh well, they'll get better. They'll get better. Next segment. Right. Backstage reporter Ian Riccoboni has some exclusive news. So he says, "We've been handed some rather sensitive CCTV footage of what went on earlier outside the office of CEO Jim Cornette. Watch and judge for yourself." And we see Cornette and Prince Nana emerge from Cornette's office, laughing and joking like old friends. Nana shakes Cornette's hand warmly and puts his arm around him as they walk down the corridor. As they near the far end, they see Cheeseburger coming the other way. Nana breaks off from Cornette and puts his arm around Cheeseburger, turning to walk back towards the camera. As they approach, it seems that Nana is talking in a rather animated fashion to Cheeseburger. And I think that's not it. Riccoboni says, "Well, there you have it. It seems Nana had a proposition to discuss with first Jim Cornette and then with new Grassroots signee Cheeseburger. What could this all mean?" Cheeseburger and Stokely Hathaway are a very poor combination. They do not click at all. Oh, that's annoying, because I really want him to be Cheeseburger's manager. Not that he should have been in this segment, obviously. He's not supposed to be there. And that has started the Prince and the Pauper storyline. Oh, that's a bit annoying. Yeah. Yeah, because your manager, he's always in the segment, whether you put him in or not. Oh well, you need to imagine he's not actually there. That's it, he's not doing it right in front of Stokely Hathaway. He's he's doing something with Cheeseburger though, isn't he? He was just signed with Hathaway, so maybe he's trying to sign him away. I don't know. It was pretty obvious that he is, isn't it? And a 32, which is cack. Right. So Mr. Anderson cutting a pre-match promo, which got a 59. That's all right, isn't it? 59. So Anderson says, New York, New York. So dumb they actually named it twice, and people boo him because he's doing that thing where you take the piss out of the town that the show's in, and they don't like cheap heat. Cheap heat, that's what it is. My opponent tonight is just, and he sighs, he says, a sad indictment of wrestling today. He's all suckets and super kicks, but we all know that when it comes down to it, that vanilla midget couldn't kick my ass if I was in a coma. When it comes to getting the job done, I'm number one. So, Nick Jackson, bring whatever fancy bells and whistles you want. It won't mean shit. I'm bringing nothing but good old-fashioned whooping. Signed, sealed, and delivered from Green Bay, Wisconsin, straight to Nick Jackson's skinny ass. Care of New York, New York, New York. Yes, he's saying it too many times now. And Anderson starts doing a horrible rendition of Frank Sinatra's New York to the crowd's disgust until Nick Jackson's music plays. And they have their match, which is next. And it's a 48, which isn't amazing. In a decent match, Mr. Anderson defeated Nick Jackson in 12-13 by pinfall after using a foreign object. Lifting the crowd got them ready and buzzing, which is cool. Mr. Anderson was really off his game because he had to wrestle, and that's not really what he's very good at. Alright, well that's good. It got the crowd buzzing, so hopefully the main event will be decent. But first we've got this, I think we've got something just before that, which might fuck it all up. Cornette takes the house mic as a battered Nick Jackson is tended to by his brother Matt. And Cornette says, "Okay, people, what we just saw there is that one tough son of a bitch will always come out on top against a pretty boy like you, Nick. I really don't think your performance tonight was becoming of a champion in this company, but I did see a tag team tonight that thoroughly impressed me. The Motor City Machine Guns had a fantastic victory against War Machine." He's kind of forgetting that they had a bit of help there. "So I've decided it will be they who will take on the Young Bucks at best in the world. So, Bucks, I hope you've got enough frequent flyer miles, because I have a hunch you may just come crashing to earth next Sunday against my new favourite team. I would wish you luck, but I'm an honest man, so I'll just say this. Enjoy the adulation of the fans while you're still able to walk, because the way you guys wrestle, you'll be spending your dotage in a wheelchair. And after the Guns are done with you, you'll be one step closer to your destiny." And that got a 39, which is not amazing, is it? Anyway, so this will be the main event. Let's hope this is really good. It's going to have to be, because I don't think there's been any other good matches on the card. It's a 51. In a decent match, Frankie Kazarian defeated Jay Briscoe in 1941 by pinfall with a Back to the Future, following interference from Christopher Daniels. Back to the Future? Is that a flux capacitor? Is that the same thing, or? Not sure. Kazarian was off his game. For fuck's sake, you bloody main eventing. Daniels did some good work at ringside. Thank you, Daniels. Yeah, a little bit disappointed with that, to be honest. I thought that was going to be quite a good match. Yeah, a little bit annoyed about that. Anyway, let's see what we got over. Oh, hang on. No, closing segment. Oh, Jesus Christ, 35. Jay Briscoe has failed the Appletini acid test and he's furious with Christopher Daniels for interfering. Briscoe goes after Daniels, but Kazarian stops him with a steel chair to the back. Nasty bugger. The Addiction continue to beat on Jay Briscoe, viciously stomping and ramming the chair into his prone body. Mark Briscoe comes running to his brother's aid, joined by Jay Lethal. They manage to run Daniels and Kaz off and tend to the fallen Jay Briscoe as EMTs arrive and the show fades to black. Well, so a nasty beating for Jay Briscoe there. Let's see what the show rating is. I think it's going to be a bit crap. And a 51, which has lost its popularity in one region, which will be New York, where the show was. Yeah, not amazing. Not amazing. With like an hour and a half, it's going to be a 5-match card, really, isn't it? Pretty much every time. So not sure how to book that in a way that's going to control the crowd properly. Suggestions are definitely welcome on that one. I don't know if anyone has similar sort of shows of a similar length and how they might book that out. But yeah, definitely that could have been a lot better. Hopefully the go home show will be better. And then yeah, I'm thinking Best in the World will be pretty good. I've got a pretty good card for that. Just got to put a few things in place in the go home show. So yeah, not an amazing show, but you know, not a disaster by any means. But clearly, I'm gonna have to put on shows slightly better than that if I want to keep what I've got in the tri-state area. I've got pretty good popularity there, so I need to try and keep that up. But you know, over the rest of America, I'm going up a little bit. Right, let's have a look and see what's happening there. Let's see what the Nick Jackson needs time to heal. Alex Shea, yeah, it's the same people really that are working in Japan the day before. So 0.2 rating is up from last week. I've got a feeling that'll drop again because that wasn't a great show. It'll probably fluctuate a bit. And if I can do a better home show, it'll go up again. Anyway, we'll delete all them, right? And that's it really. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found the show interesting. And I'm making good money there. I've got 177,000 more than I started with 2 weeks ago, so that's pretty good. Yeah, so yeah, you know, if you like the show, like it and subscribe and all that jazz. And yeah, I'll see you next time.